Hello there. My name is Sylvia Hubbard, and you are listening to the literary world of Sylvia Hubbard. I am an author of over 70 romance, dark romance, and psychological suspense books, and I'm also founder of Motown Writers Network, where we help writers get to their literary goals, and we connect readers to Michigan authors. I'm kind of loopy today, but we're gonna get this going. If you haven't listened to part two, part one of the series that I'm doing called Syllit Book Titles, where we explain the whys, kinks, and tropes so readers can see the meaning behind the madness of all the titles that I have. Please go back and listen to it. I'd appreciate that. So I don't have to explain a lot. Now, who am I? Like I said, I'm a dark romance and psychological suspense author of almost 70 books. I've been published since 2000, and of course, there is so much more to come. These are a few of my titles, a few earlier fan favorites, but yeah, and a lot of exclusives are on here. And it's even one on here that you're looking at that it is still a work in progress. It's going to be my strange book. But yeah, I can't wait. Um, Overall themes that I do write are morally gray heroes, forbidden love, family, and loyalty conflicts. I write a lot of, I don't write a lot of slow burn, that's what I meant to say, but it's a lot of emotional tension. I like to get to the good part in the first five chapters. So, yeah, I'm like that. I do like my heroes protective and possessive. I have a couple of marriage of conveniences or arrangements of convenience and kind of fake relationships. I love those in all different types of ways. I think I write kind of out of the box in those things. Polyandry is my jam, but it's with no sword crossing. Family secrets. I have suspense around suspense. That means I'm trying to kill somebody. Most likely it's the FMC. I'm trying to kill. There's a couple of them that I have like shot up the MMC, but yeah, I be trying to kill that FMC for some reason. A second chance romance. In terms of that, it's kind of a out of a box second chance. Maybe like a friend while they were, or a past enemy, or jealous kind of thing. Sometimes even a small stalker in there. It's all mixed up together. After 70 books, it's a lot of them. Trope stacking, I do a lot of trope stacking and kind of mix it up and then see what pops out at the end. And I have a couple of age gap romances along with genre bending, suspense romance hybrids in there. You got to deep dive into the catalog. What is so wonderful is that they all kind of linked together in some kind of companion way. So it's either serials or it's either standalone companionship books. So if you see the book that says part one, part two, part three, that means they all go together. You have to read those in order. But if it says book one, book two, book three, that means they're all standalone books. They're just like somehow companionship related. That's how that goes. We're gonna start it off though with well, this is since this is part two, we've already done the first five already. And I'm doing them in order of publish because it's so many and you really can't read them in order. You can just I'm going by in order of publish because they all kind of intertwine together in some kind of way. I know what you're saying, Sylvia. How do you keep up with this? I don't. Somehow in the back of my brain, it does. So, yeah, I'm trying to put together a story Bible, but good Lord, I'm all over the place. So, today we will be talking about these books, Silent Links, which is part of the Heart of Detroit series, Baby Doll, which is also part of the Heart of Detroit series, Deceptive Nights, Consensual which is also a short story from Boom Boom Boom, and then Love Like This, and a bonus one in here because I'm only doing five at a time, but this is actually an audiobook bonus, How to Meet and Marry in 24 Hours. So let's get on to the first one. Silent Links is kind of like a small, short flash fiction about Tana being imprisoned in her own home by her secretive father. She gets kidnapped by Lynx, who's a mute man, and his accomplice Jimmy. Now, a lot of people do not know this is part when it first came out. No one knew it was part of Heart of Detroit series. Um, Link was kind of like this mysterious man left on the street, but he actually is and like I said, it's going to be spoilers. He is the baby that was taken a long time ago, and Liesel's been kind of looking for his little brother. So this is Liesel Hart's little brother, but due to the injuries he suffered, he was mute. Um, it's a short story of kidnapping, lots of medical intrigue because of her father's scientific research. It is dubious con. It is a lot of dubious con. Ugh. Family conflict. Some family conflict where she has to decide, do she betray her father? Spoiled rotten versus grumpy mute. I wanted to do kind of a sign language book, but and to challenge myself to do this, and I did it in this really short time. Links will be back in another book, of course, and of course, like I said, it's a standalone part of the Heart of Detroit series. Then next we have Baby Doll, and this is actually it was actually kind of cool. Crimes were being taken, like cars were being stolen. This introduces Sheriff Hart. Um, and yes, of course, he's part of the Heart of Detroit series, and you've seen him in other books. But this is his story with Pendleton, and she's spoiled, and it's a grumpy cop. Kind of wrote these kind of back to back, um, but with two different cousins. They're actually Sheriff is a cousin to Link. Sheriff is actually a brother to King Hart because all of King's direct initial siblings all have royalty titles, so that's how you kind of figure those out. We ain't going into the heart series yet because you guys asked too many questions and it's coming, okay? She finds out there is much more to this dark, mysterious man than what she thought. In the end, she learns an unforgettable lesson in pleasure, but also deceit, lies, and pain. Sheriff's a hard man. He's a very hard and difficult man, but because of who he come from, that side of the family, they are all pretty dangerous and pretty psychotic. But this is a psychological suspense romance. It has a lot of crime. It has a crime in it and well, crimes in it. Serious dubcon in the beginning. I think in the first five chapters, serious dubcon, automotive crime, spoiled riding versus grumpy cop. So let's get to the next one. Is Deceptive Nights. Now I had just got off of the Stone's Revenge thing where I'd done a lot of murdering and I wanted something lighter, and this was my chance of being lighter. So it's a dark romance intrigue, urban noir, office romance. These two strangers meet and find they can meet each other's needs, yet one night won't do, and passion this hot meets. This is I was going through, and I was going through something. Deceptive Nights was I actually came up with the title when I came up with I think the first three chapters, the title kind of popped off. And I forgot to tell you about the titles for the other ones. So Silent Links, of course, he was surrounded by his name. In all the titles for the Heart of Detroit series, it's kind of around their names, except Baby Doll it's a scenario that she's dressed like a baby doll and for a party, and that's how that came to be. When I do Sheriff's Heart full books, this is a short story, so this is kind of like a story starter, kind of sorta. So I kind of named it that to go along with that part. And of course, then Deceptive Nights. Deceptive Nights is the kinks and stuff and tropes themes are one night stand, selling for pleasure, office romance conflict, deceit, single mom. Of course, this is a single mama. I was going through, like I said, I was going through some things at my office job, and I kind of had to get it out on paper. And it was actually a night that kind of almost happened. A nice car pulled up on me, and this really handsome guy in the back asked if I wanted to get in because it was kind of cold. I actually had the same thing on that I described that the girl was wearing when it happened. And of course, in real life, I said no, but in my mind, I got into that car and this is what happened. So, yeah, have fun with that one. I was trying to get that one out of me and put it in someone else. So this one is Love Like This is one of my most popular titles. And I think because I give it away for free, this is actually one of the first story. This is the first story that is in the Black Family series. It's a standalone. Was this my first IR? Well, you would say Stone's Revenge is a IR because of a Hispanic and a black, but this was actually one of my first IRs. I'm looking at my other books, and I believe this is one of my first IR interracial books. Angered that his wife would sleep with his brother, Ethan swore revenge. This is a story. This is a spoiler. Uh, Dark enemies to lover, romance, family, suspense, drama. The black family is more or less they just like revenge, or there's something seriously crazy about them, insane about something's mentally wrong with them. So they're either hardcore revenge or something's wrong with them in that respect. It is a revenge story. He's the story spoiler. He sleeps with his stepdaughter. Bam, bam, bam. But like I said, it's a standalone part of the Black Family series, and you can read it wherever books are sold. So Boom Boom Boom. It started off as Boom Boom Boom. This was a short, erotic tale of a woman's hot night that she will never forget. It was a dark, dubious, romantic intrigue, urban noir. I never can say that word right. Sorry. A serious Dubcon single mother urban short sweaty story. I just said a short sweaty story. What happened was I started with Boom Boom Boom, and you can actually go on my website and read the first part of this for free. I think it's sylviahubbard.com/boom boom, all no spaces. And then someone asked me to be in an anthology, and I decided to elongate this to a novella, and then that's how it got that far. So yeah, it became, and then this is the full story isn't a novella, which you can download off of Amazon. But yeah, and it turned into the thing called Consensual. But this storyline, uh, it is wrapped up in another story. I know that Andy appears in another story, kind of like selling her wig business that she has. How to Meet, and lastly is the audiobook of How to Meet and Marry in 24 Hours. If you go on my site, sylviahubbard.com/books, you can click to the link and listen to this story. It's successful and handsome Alvin realizes he wants to marry, but he has no one in mind. It's a He Falls First audiobook, treacherous deceit, affairs, and revenge. It's a nice listen to. It's like a quickie listen. You can check it out. I had so much fun. And then a DJ actually asked if he could take that book and he does the sound effects and all of that. And it was really cool, but I really enjoyed it and I had a really good time writing that story. You're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. But yeah, that is all of them. I hope you enjoy this short podcast, or just kind of like, yeah, because I'm not really showing my face, but it is just a short presentation on part 2 of all my book titles. Yeah, all the book titles that I have, and the whys and the kinks and the tropes. And like I said, I'm gonna be doing this series. I'm gonna hopefully do it every week, so you guys can stay stay tuned for more to come. And let me know how you like it. Don't forget to subscribe and more to come.